Your child has been coughing for 3 days. The pediatrician says it's just a cold, give it some time. But your brain isn't listening to the doctor. It's listening to the cough. And it's already writing the diagnosis. What if it's not a cold? What if it's pneumonia they missed? What if their immune system is compromised? What if they're one of those kids who's always constantly sick? Do we need to go to the ER? Your mind can take a common cold into a medical trauma in minutes. All while they're literally asking for a snack. It happens in seconds. You told yourself you wouldn't Google it. But then you did. And now you've read 10 articles. 3 say it's nothing, and 7 say it could be something. And your brain only remembers the 7. From a cold to a downward mental spiral. One Google search at 11 p.m. while they're upstairs sleeping peacefully, breathing fine with maybe a little phlegm. Everyone tells you stop worrying, they're fine. But here's what they don't understand. You're not worried for the sake of worrying. You're trying to prevent your child from suffering. And your brain learned, if I think through every possible outcome, I can protect them from the bad ones. The problem? Your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and a possible one. So every cough becomes an emergency. Hi, I'm Mallory, mom of 3, and if every symptom feels like an emergency to you, keep watching. By the end of this video, you'll finally understand why you think this way and what to do about it. Because the goal isn't to stop caring, it's to stop carrying medical disasters that haven't happened yet. Let's start with a quick fix. When the spiral starts, pick one. Reality check. Ask, has this ever happened before? Name it, say out loud, I'm over-exaggerating about this cough. Set a 5-minute timer on your phone. Worry now and stop when it beeps. This works every time. So why doesn't it? Okay, real talk. You've heard advice like this before, haven't you? Just stop the thought, change the worry, use a grounding technique. And maybe it worked for a minute, for an hour. But then your child coughed again, and you're back in that spiral. Because here's what no one tells you. Those techniques, they're band-aids. They interrupt the spiral. They don't stop your brain from creating the spiral in the first place. And that's the difference between managing this and actually fixing it. Let me show you the difference. Here's what I need you to understand. Motherhood didn't create this pattern. Motherhood triggered it. Did you know that between 70 to 100% of new mothers reported unwanted, intrusive thoughts about infant-related harm, with as many as half of all new mothers reported unwanted, intrusive thoughts of harming their infant on purpose? This isn't really about your child's health, but your brain learned to go from the worst-case scenario a long time ago, and here's how. Probably when you were young, and I can tell you exactly when uncertainty felt dangerous. Maybe you grew up in a home where things were unpredictable, where a parent's mood could change in seconds, where you never knew if today was going to be a good day or a bad day. So your brain learned to scan for signs, predict what's coming, stay ahead of the danger. Or maybe you were the kid who took care of everyone else, the little adult, the one who made sure mom was okay or kept the peace or watched over your younger siblings. And your brain learned, if I don't catch the problem early, someone I love will suffer. Or maybe this is the one nobody talks about. Love in your house felt conditional. Mistakes had consequences. Being wrong meant shame or anger or being shut out. So your brain learned, I have to think through every possible outcome before I act. I can't afford to miss something. And now you're a mom, and your child coughs. And that program activates. Scan for danger, predict the worst, catch it before it gets bad. Don't let anyone suffer because you weren't paying enough attention. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it learned to do to keep people that you love safe and to survive. The problem? Your child's cold isn't the chaos you grew up in, but your nervous system doesn't know that yet. So every symptom gets treated like the kind of danger you had to predict back then. This isn't about your child. It's about the child you were and what she had to learn to survive. You've been told your whole life you're paranoid, that you overreact to every little thing, that you need to just trust the doctor and relax. But here's what moms who overanalyze about health never hear. You're not paranoid. You're hypervigilant to suffering. Other moms can hear a cough and think, I'll keep an eye on it. You hear a cough and your brain starts calculating. How many days has it been? Is it getting worse? What am I missing? That's not weakness. That's a nervous system that learned. Missing the signs has consequences, and the vigilance that exhausts you, well, that also catches the fevers early. What notices change, others miss. Your vigilance isn't a flaw, it's a feature that costs too much. You are not too much. You're carrying too much that hasn't happened yet. And here's the part that most of us don't even think about. Our kids are watching, not at midnight while you're Googling, but in those little everyday moments. How do you react when they fall at the playground? What does your face do when they say, "My tummy hurts"? Do you rush them to wash their hands the second they touch something? They're learning from you. Is my body safe, or is it something I need to watch constantly? And I wonder, what did you learn about being sick when you were little? Was it okay to just have a cold and rest? Or did sickness feel scary in your house, like something had to be monitored or controlled or fixed immediately? When you got hurt, could you cry? Or did you learn to downplay it to push through and prove you were fine? Were you allowed to be vulnerable? Or did being sick feel like being a burden? Because those moments, the ones you might barely remember, those shaped how you respond to your child's cough today. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you are shaping how your child will respond to their child's cough someday. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because this is how these patterns move through families. Quietly, through worried faces and middle of the night Googling and let me just check one more time. And you get to decide, do I want to examine where this comes from? Or do I want them to inherit it without understanding it, like I did? This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. Because the cycle doesn't break by managing your anxiety better. It breaks when you understand where it came from and choose something different. So if you're sitting here thinking, okay, maybe I do need to look at where this comes from, I want you to imagine something for a second. What would it feel like to not yell for an entire week? Not because you're holding it in, not because you're clenching your jaw through bedtime, but because the trigger just didn't fire. What would it feel like to actually enjoy them again? To be present at the park instead of scrolling to escape? To feel yourself, not just mom? That's not a fantasy. That's what happens when you heal the pattern instead of managing the symptoms. And that's exactly what we do inside the Calm Parenting Method. Here's what I know about you. You've read the parenting books. You've listened to the podcasts. You've screenshotted the Instagram tips and tried the gentle parenting scripts. And some of it helped for a minute, but you're still here because deep down you know this isn't a strategy problem, it's a root problem, and you can't organize or optimize your way out of a wound you never addressed. This course isn't about giving you more techniques. It's about understanding why you're triggered in the first place and rewiring those patterns at the root. We go back gently, not to blame anyone, but to understand what you learned about love, anger, control, and good enough. Then we rebuild. Your triggers, why they fire, and how to change that. Your nervous system, teaching it that you're safe, even when they're melting down. Your identity, reconnecting to who you were before you lost yourself in motherhood. In 90 days, you go from reactive to regulated, guilty to grounded, disconnected to actually present. What's wrong with me to I understand myself now. And here's what I want you to hear. This isn't selfish. You're investing in your health, and that's the most generous thing you can do for your kids because they don't need the perfect mom. They need a mom who's not drowning, a mom who can stay calm when they can't, a mom who breaks the cycle instead of passing it on. This is the work that changes families, not just you, them, and their kids someday. The course opens in May of 2026, but the waitlist is open now. Click on the link below. You've been trying to be better through willpower. Let's try something different. Let's actually heal it. I'll see you on the inside.